It's not healthy to, you know, build your self-perception and who you see yourself to be based off of other people's negative opinions. And if you hate yourself, you're going to use those things as confirmation bias instead of realizing that people are going to have negative opinions of you, people aren't going to like you. And most of the time, it could be just somebody's personal opinion, but most of the time, it is going to be the case that you reflect something that they don't like in themselves, right? So why do we do that? Why do we give away our power so much? I mean, for me personally, like, it was a case of I was never taught that there was any other option. I grew up thinking that hating myself was normal, that it was, the done thing, because I'd never had an example of, so, like, people loving themselves around me, and I don't think there are many people do. And I think if you do, you're very lucky to have been taught that from a very young age. But I was thinking about it today, how human beings are, I mean, come on, like, we get born into this world and we know absolutely nothing. We don't know anything, And I was thinking about how, like, people who don't think about the implications of having children in today's world are just really dumb. And that people who, aren't, like, rich, well off, whatever, can have a kid, but, like, people that aren't well off, aren't well educated, don't have any drive or ambition, don't have anything, and get pregnant on a whim and just decide to keep it because why not? And then that child gets raised in the household where there is no love because there was no self-development for those parents. And I think since being on this journey of, like, loving myself and figuring out all of this stuff, I've made it, like, abundantly clear for myself that I'm not bringing a child into this world unless I have it together, and unless I can know from first-hand experience and teach my child how to exist as a human being, how to live authentically, how to love themselves, how to respect themselves. And of course, everyone's going to make mistakes, and I don't think that anyone is exempt from childhood that has things in it that shouldn't happen. Anyway, I'm getting off track. But sometimes these things just aren't taught, and we become so comfortable in this place of believing everybody else that tells us about who we are, and you can end up in really narcissistic and abusive relationships because of that way of thinking. And as an artist, if we're speaking on, the reason why I'm here talking to you right now is that, your art is its best when it's the most authentic, when it's not filtered through what you think other people want from you. And art is at its best when it pushes boundaries and when it, sparks a conversation, and when it affects people and changes people. And you can feel that. I'm sure that if you look at any artist that, you resonate with, that you'll be able to tell, like, there's a certain quality about the music, the lyrics, the composition that just, like, touches you in this very deep and profound way. And I'm a firm believer of, the outside world is a direct reflection of us. And it's like, if these people can access these feelings this deeply and at that capacity, then anyone can, and we can too. And it's not a matter of, picking yourself apart. It's just a matter of seeing who you are and changing things that you don't like. And if there's things that don't change, like, everyone has a dark side, but if you loved your dark side, not to nurture it, but to understand it, to understand where it comes from and why it's there. What purpose does it serve that is for my highest good? And having that balance and having that level of perspective that you are a spectrum of multiple layers and different colors and different things, like, and I think that that's why it's so important to do healing sort of work and actually, work through anything that's affected you negatively in your life, people's opinions of you, whatever traumatic experiences and things like that. And like, it's not easy. Not everyone's going to understand. Like, I just think that everybody deserves to just feel what it's like to take a breath and not feel like there's something wrong with you or feel like people are perceiving you to be wrong in some kind of way. I always felt wrong. I felt wrong for being into spirituality. I felt wrong for inherently wanting to be a loving kind of person. And why? Because I had people around me that made me feel like I, like it was cringe, like I was embarrassing, and it made me feel embarrassing because I felt embarrassed by myself because I had been, I had had things happen to me when I was a kid that, made me hate myself, and that affected me in a way where it's, you have confirmation bias, you relive that, you relive those relationships and those dynamics, and they affect you in the same kinds of ways, and you keep yourself there because you shame yourself and you feel shame for the things that you've been through. And underneath all of that is a person, and a person that is scared, a person that God just wants to breathe, just wants to feel comfort. And then we find comfort in so many other things. We find comfort in addictions and substances and people and situations, and reliving those dynamics can make us feel comfortable and safe. But at what cost? Underneath all of that is just you. And who is that person? Because that person is not defined by the trauma. That person is not defined by what they've been through. No, that person is defined by what are their morals, what do they believe in, what do they feel at their core. That is who they are. I'm a nurturing and loving person, and I've overused that in my life. I've given that to people that didn't deserve it from me. But it's not a bad thing, and I can be nurturing and loving to myself because I learned how to do that. And, I'm better for it, and this is the thing, is like, people will take advantage of you if you don't take the time to know yourself, because they will project onto you and they will think that you are a specific way when really it's them that's a specific way. But because you just allow yourself to be this blank canvas, people will just throw anything they want on there and know that it'll stick because you'll let it, because you'll analyze it, because you'll look in the mirror and you'll be like, yeah, I can kind of see that. And this is not to be confused with like having genuine people around you that will tell you what you're doing wrong, and that it's from a genuine loving and caring place. But there definitely is a difference. And when you know yourself, you can self-reflect and think, is this who I am? Was this my intention? Or is this a projection, and is this totally not, you are who you are. And taking the time to know that saves you a lot of hassle. It saves you a lot of pain, a lot of heartbreak. It saves you a lot of self-sabotage. And getting back to this, this point of like, if you're an artist, you have to know yourself, not just for the betterment of your art and the betterment of others and community and connection, being vulnerable, healing, and doing all of that. It's also like, you should know yourself so that you don't get screwed over. So you don't screw over yourself. And when you've got genuine people around you that take the time to know that person and respect that you know yourself, they will keep you in check when you slip up too. And then you can revise that and think to yourself, okay, well, what are my morals? Have my morals failed? Oh my god. Okay. I don't think that my throat's gonna let me talk anymore. I hope you listen to me. This is really important stuff. Okay? Like I'm not saying this like I'm not speaking out of not experiencing it, okay? The work that I do here on YouTube is so important to me because it means that I can share all of the wisdom that I've gained, the things that I've learned, the perspectives that I've been through, you know, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I can share it with people. And that feels right to me. And I want to sincerely thank you all for being here. Thank you for 1,000 subscribers. Oh my god. I'm so glad that I didn't give up on this. I, went through so many phases where I was like, no, it's not for me. But I've come back to it, and I'm just really glad that I have, because it's been really fulfilling and really nice to read all of the comments and stuff. And I want you to know that it is. And I want you to know that it is very, very, very much appreciated, and I'm so grateful that I'm able to help. So please keep shining. I hope the best for you. And thank you for being here. I really hope that this video helped, and I will see you in the next one.